I guess I didn't really come out until I was in my early 30s.
I went through a hard early life.
There's nothing wrong if you're gay, obviously. There's nothing wrong with
Loving yourself and finding out who you are.
There's probably not much that's different. Gail and I have been together for 11 years, almost 12 years. Probably knew back when I was in grammar school, so I had crushes on different female teachers, but growing up Catholic, would have no idea or would not even entertain the idea.
I really don't feel any differently about homosexuality than I do about anything else. Like, as far as, you know, being straight versus being gay, I really don't have any like side pot thoughts about it.
I support it, honestly. I think that it's a person's own choice to choose their sexual preference, and I have nothing against it. I have homosexual friends, and I support them. If that's what they want to do, then that's their choice.
I'm Shirley Phelps-Roper, and I'm a member of Westboro Baptist Church in Topeka, Kansas. Our views on homosexuality are those that are discussed and articulated in the Scriptures.
God also, are you a preacher? Are you a minister? Were you brought down from heaven to preach your garbage? Oh, really? He left his word, and you call it the Scriptures, the Bible. All right, then let's talk Scripture.
If you live that manner of life, when you quit this life, you will land in hell. God hates homosexuals or fags and their enablers. Any nation who rises up, or any people who rises up with one voice to say it's okay to be gay or anything like that, is a doomed nation.
Growing up and always knowing that I was homosexual and then trying to play the straight role, whether it was for my family or what I thought society wanted me to be, or you know, difficulties going away to school in a small, you know, setting. I would hate to have to constantly live my life as a lie, worrying about what other people thought. I would never want to sacrifice my own happiness.
I think homosexuality is an awesome thing. I think it's great that homosexuals in America aren't afraid to be openly gay. I support every single person that I know who is gay, and I think that it's awesome that they aren't ashamed of who they are and what they believe in and what they stand for.
We live in a country where we're free to make our own decisions, and we're free to live as citizens of this great country that was, you know, founded on the basis of freedom of speech and freedom of belief and freedom of sexual orientation. Although it's not written in there, it's definitely understood that America is a country that honors freedoms and races and all kinds of people that may be labeled as different.
One point that I had to come to in life was, if you have a problem with my being homosexual or anyone else, it's just that it's your problem, it's not mine, and I don't have to make it mine.
You don't just look up one day and you have a nation or a people saying it's okay to be gay. This is a nation that has institutionalized policies of rebellion against the standards of God. We focus on it because you focus on it.
You don't feel discriminated against on a regular basis. Where you find inequality is in places like health benefits, marriage benefits, those kinds of things. It's frustrating. Most of the time, you just live your life like everybody else. It isn't really any different. It's just that when it's time to file your taxes or it's time to select your benefits at work, is when you start to be reminded that you're not equal.
The pernicious nature of homosexuality is that those people won't even admit that they're sinning. They say it's an innocent alternate lifestyle.
That really, there's no significant difference to our relationship, and it shouldn't prevent other people from having theirs. We just want to be accepted and respected in the community. You know, as an individual, you tend to be very respected at work. You're not treated really any differently. There's just certain situations where you begin to recognize that life for you is a little different.
There are certain people whose minds you will never be able to change about anything. You could argue for days on end that the sky is blue and they can tell you it's turquoise and you'll get nowhere.
I think the biggest issue concerning the gay community is really just being accepted and being tolerated for their beliefs. I think a lot of people don't really understand their sexual orientation.
The same issue that I think faces most young people, loving yourself versus worrying about pleasing other people, whether it's family, whether it's a loved one, someone you're romantically involved with.
I think the biggest issue is obviously acceptance. even when going in and going for a job interview, if they dress a certain way, they'll be judged. But it's like, just because they're dressed or act a certain way does not mean that they are not just the same as a heterosexual person.
I would say marriage or civil unions. From my perspective, we could call it whatever anybody wants to call it. Have tremendous respect for, you know, the religious issues.
Al-Qaeda, the Islamic jihadist, the Buddhist, the Amish self-righteous freak that eats their children, the Catholic pedophile machine, the God-hating, Christ-rejecting Jews, and on and on.
I don't really even practice a religion. There could be tons of openly gay people who feel the same way as I do about religion. And, you know, they're being persecuted by an individual, you know, church for their sexuality based on something they don't even believe in. That's not fair.
First of all, it's not any crapshoot. It's not any luck of the draw. Should I look up one day and come to an understanding that I have a child who is going to live that manner of life, they will never come and present that mess to me. They'll sneak away when they reach the age of majority under cover of darkness, and that'll be the end of that. Life is too short. Eternity goes on forever.
She's a radical, and I think that she has very kind of skewed views on America in general. She has this radical view that the only religion that exists is her religion.
Line them all up, and here's what you got at the end of the process. You have got a bunch of heads of one monster. God hates them all. They are all headed to the same hell.
I don't like being a person that's discriminated against in America because I am gay. It hurts. You know, and I can understand how other people feel when they are discriminated against.
You're telling me that I am degrading fags. Do you know what these people do?
There are always people that are going to be extremists. Whatever they do, it's overly intense, and they're going to way overdo it.
We attended a conference or a concert, an equality conference, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago. And that was my first real experience.
Oh, the March on Washington.
Yes, that was my first real experience with being picketed by people who didn't know us. I mean, we were walking into JFK Stadium, I think it was, and the Fred Phelps group was out there with their posters and just, you know, horrible signs and hatred, and you wonder, these people have no idea who I am. What is there to hate?
You're aware of what they do?
Yes.
You're talking to me about degrading? Hello?
I don't think, I mean,
What
do you
they
feel these
do
people,
is
they're
a
not
ritual
second-class citizens. I mean, there's over
They eat each other's feces. Hello?
I mean,
That's a little degrading.
Okay.
I think if I got caught with feces on my teeth, I'd be a little ashamed of myself.
To make those people realize how they do more harm than good, not only to others that they're hating against, but also to themselves. They're limiting their own lives.
Heath Ledger now inhabits hell.